Brendan from techbuzzireland. Today we've got the OBSBOT 4K. This particular one is in the space grey colour there at the moment, and you may have noticed we've done a lot of the OBSBOTs before. First thing you'll notice observation is the box is quite small. The OBSBOT Meet 2. This box is quite small. We'll give you a bit more details on that there and that. In the box itself, it comes with your USB OBSBOT Meet 2, privacy cover, magnetic mount, USB-C to USB-A adapter, USB cable, manual warranty card. Now, just very quickly, the magnetic mount is actually quite good because it allows you to actually just connect it to your laptop, and it's a small enough unit. And this is actually what the doesn't look much on its own, but when you use the practicalities. It also comes with USB-C. We're always a fan of USB. What I really like about this particular part, before we go into the unit itself, is this is a normal USB cable that we would get, USB-C to C, as in most laptops will have it. But on occasions, you might want to plug it into USB-A, so it provides an adapter with it as well. And that to me is quite good. It's a simple, effective, and actually it works fairly well. It plugs in. Most people at this stage are probably looking towards what are you actually getting there at the moment and on that. And this is the unit itself. You'll see the first thing you'll actually notice is on the bottom of it, there's a 1/4 inch screw, and that'll allow you to, example, put it onto a tripod. So if you've got a tripod, for example, you just screw it on there and you can use it, but it's not actually needed as such for the tripod. You screw it in because of the magnetic mount which is available there. So that's a very standard scenario, etc. on that. On the unit itself, you've obviously got the camera in front, which you can see there at the moment. Camera indicator light top right hand corner will actually show it flashing. Two microphones, dual microphone button here at the moment, so it picks up your audio there at the moment. And again, what I mentioned to you about the USB-C on the back of the unit itself. And that's actually quite good there at the moment. And obviously the 1/4 inch thread as well is on the bottom. So in essence, it's quite compact. When I mentioned to be about compact, this is my watch. And when I put a comparison to the shape and size of my own watch, and yes, it's thicker, but it is something that just gives a bit of perspective on the size of this particular unit itself, which is quite good. But even though I've mentioned it's quite small there at the moment, it has AI powered imaging technology with a phase detection autofocus technology, so which allows detecting phase changes and alignments of the adjustment fairly thing. It's also got the ultra 4K resolution with low light conditions and a 1/2 inch CMOS sensor coupled with a focal length of 1.8 aperture ensures it good in the lower light. It actually works quite well. And I've showed you the two microphones there at the moment, so this can actually pick it up, etc. on those particular things. And I suppose there's some of the ideas, but what it also does is it integrates with the original OBSBOT Eco Center, as in the software itself. So you can take this straight out of the box, plug this cable directly into the back here, plug this directly into your computer, and it works. Okay, and that's works. But by actually using the software it comes with as well, which is free, you've got the AI autofocusing, auto framing. They've got beauty mode for enhanced streaming and a host of other varieties there at the moment. And it supports open sound control, global hotkeys, compatibility with a variety of different things there at the moment is there. And the magnetic mount gives you a lot of options there. So what we're now going to do, as I mentioned, is we set already, you can set it up directly, plug it in, it will work for your normal, for example, your Zoom, your Google Meet, for example, and your Teams calls. It will actually work. I'm going to set it up now with the software itself and the wrong one, just to show you a bit of a comparison, to give you an idea how it actually works. In the box, as I mentioned, it does come with the instructions. The instructions is good, but before you go into the instructions straight away, when you open the box, and again, another little clever thing they've actually done is, when we open the box, you'll actually see the QR code. So the QR code has a link directly to, the first thing we'd normally say with any particular technology product is update to the latest software. It gives you a link directly to the software, but it also gives you a QR code, scans you to user guide. So there's little videos on how to connect it, how to set it up, and all the information you want. So it's not the manual that you think. The manual is here. It gives you so much information. It tells you your basic things. about where to place it in the monitor, how to actually use it there at the moment. But in reality is having a YouTube visitor, etc. It actually has more information. Manual is not that big, but again, it's the QR codes are quite handy about the installation there. It also gives you the warranty card, which is a bit of a disappointment. It comes with a 1-year warranty. With this amount of technology, etc., no moving parts. And I often think when there's no moving parts in something, it's just software that works. It should be given more than a 1 year's warranty, because I don't expect anything to fail. It is software, because heat and movement normally causes damage to products. This doesn't really have too much. Obviously the lens itself, but they've been around for a while. It's a software technology is part of the, I suppose, the unique part of this that gives it a little bit of extra. Give a quick demo of the software, give you an idea there. I've now set this up using the OBSBOT center there at the moment software. First thing you'll notice is over to the side here I have this USB-C with the adapter plugged directly into the laptop, and I have this on top. Many people think automatically traditional cameras you have to have it facing directly to yourself, but because it's magnetic I can turn it anywhere around. I'm just facing this at a particular wall there at the moment, but that's probably not, and obviously with a lot of things you can do, but depending on what I'm doing here, for example, when I've set it up there, I can actually turn it around, just turn it around and you get the adjustments. These are little things you can do. The other thing is quite nice as well is sometimes you might say I am doing a presentation there at the moment and I want to zoom in, and there is a zoom in, so I can zoom in directly to 4 times zooms in here at the moment, so you can quite clearly zoom in or out. So if you had a presentation going on there and you wanted to showcase a particular area there on that, you can actually do it. Within it itself there's a lot of different software you can actually use. So depending on what you're trying to do is your different audio settings, so you can change the audio. Auto follow the video means that if I'm walking around, etc., for example, from the camera, the 2 microphones are actually picking it up, to say the least. I actually like the global short keys, so you can actually control it, do a lot of different things. So all 3 might do one thing, something else, and you can control these particular options itself. Global settings are a load of other settings. Language is actually in English at the moment, obviously, but there is a load of different language settings there at the moment, and there's a load of different options you can go through, and you could spend hours. But I suppose a couple of other things is the view tutorial. So if you were a bit unsure what to actually do, you can scan the QR code, you can go directly onto tutorial, and it gives you an idea what you're trying to achieve there at the moment. And that's some of the ideas. But also within the image itself, you can adjust the exposure, the autofocus. Now I have this on autofocus, so when things are changing there and I go in and I blur it, for example, it will focus, etc. And I've noticed this in the past with older units. As I was moving around in the background, focusing in there, it just focuses to them. So when you're actually on, I suppose, moving, for example, as you would normally do in there, and you can have the auto flicker there at the moment, white balance and auto settings. Most of these settings are actually in the contrast. So anybody who's really into that technology and want to actually make all these changes, HDR is actually switched off to focus. But I think for most people, having it the auto works sufficiently to kind of go in there at the moment is there. And there's a lot of other options there. If you're doing something else, you can actually go in and you'll see this is actually recording here at the moment. So just press record to the video options as well. So it's now recording. So if I was doing a demo, for example, rather than trying to use additional software, I can record this directly to it and it's going to record, etc. Again, there's a privacy mode there at the moment. So if I want to turn the camera off, for example, the lens off, there's a load of options I can actually do, and there's the normal options here. And as I mentioned originally, it does connect directly to your, there's a couple of tips which is quite good. So when, for example, I do open up my MS Teams, all I do is I do a pull down, change it to the settings. This particular camera here at the moment is there. A couple of things are really good, as I said, really light, really compact, really thing. It plugs in. Doesn't seem like a lot of accessories coming with it there. I love the idea of the zoom, that you can zoom in, you can put it around. You've got different modes you can actually you can use, and as I said, it's the AI technology, and it's the same software for the OBSBOT range of cameras. And anybody who's looked at us at TechBuzz before will have noticed we've done a lot and we've gone into real details regarding the different areas there at the moment. If you want to power down, it's just a simple matter of powering it down there on that. Lots of little tricks. couple of this from my point of view is I mentioned about the warranty is only 1 year, but also it doesn't come with a carry case. The whole idea of this is you can throw it in your bag and you can take it wherever you want to do it, and you can put around. It doesn't come with a case. It is reasonably priced in comparison to some of their other units themselves, so it's not going to break the bank on this particular one there. It is so compact you can use it, and what I like about the magnetic idea is you can just throw it on top of your laptop. It's light enough. I've used some before which are quite heavy, so it pulls my laptop screen down or forward as the case may be due to the weight. This particular one, it doesn't. It's quite light. Putting it solid there at the moment, but also, as I mentioned, the tripod stand can connect directly to it back there. That is a lovely little bonus, because if you were doing a presentation, you have the cable out directly to somewhere else. You don't need to be standing beside a laptop, where traditionally with your normal camera that would be here, you are completely tied to using that particular facility. This option gives you more of other areas there at the moment. Is the huge amount of settings here, and overall solid, really physically strong in terms of how solid this particular unit is. It just gives a little bit of feeling that there's strength in it there at the moment. Very responsive, as I showed earlier on about the image and the console, about the zoom in. Do you know what I mean? It picked it up fairly quickly on those ideas, and that's actually quite good to actually being able to zoom in on those things. You've other options with the gimbal itself, what you can do, move it around, you can chop and change it. That just gives you another. So if you're doing a presentation, you've got far more options to what you actually want to do. It allows you to adjust it, etc. A lovely lightweight, compact, reasonably priced unit from OBSBOT. And QR codes in the beginning, lovely little touch in terms of it gives the information so it's at hand rather than have to go to the user manual there at the moment. And this is the OBSBOT 4K OBSBOT Meet 2. Thank you very much for watching Tech Buzz Ireland.